Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Monday, July 19th, 2021. And today is a day that's ruled by the root chakra and guided by space. And the galactic signature that we're working with today is the red solar earth energy. And so today is a day where we really want to get in touch with the earth. We want to work with the earth. We want to work with crystals. We want to be out in nature if possible. Really connecting with her and honoring her as a part of us, or us as a part of her, however it is that you want to put it. And really tapping into that connection and all of the strength and the nurturing that the earth provides for us. So it's also, remember, that energy of giving and receiving. So as we receive from the earth, we also give back to her. And as we seek to harmonize and balance that relationship and really sink into what it means to be of the earth, to be present here on her beautiful surface, experiencing this reality, experiencing this play from this three-dimensional standpoint, in this three-dimensional body, which is, of course, ascending into a fifth-dimensional body, which is absolutely amazing. Just give thanks to her for that today, because she is the vessel that is providing us with this opportunity to ascend, with this opportunity to be here in this incredible moment right now, experiencing one of the most exciting things that has ever happened in the history of the multiverse, right? Like, this is big stuff that we're doing here. So honor her for that and for the role that she plays in that, for allowing this all to be. Today's a day where we really want to tap into our own evolutionary process, and we want to utilize our connection with ourselves, our connection with our bodies and with the earth in order to be guided down that path of evolution. We want to be aware of the synchronicities happening all around us and allow those synchronicities to guide us today. The affirmations that we're working with are: I pulse in order to evolve, realizing synchronicity. I seal the matrix of navigation with the solar tone of intention. I'm guided by the power of space. And yes, today we are working with that solar tone of intention. And so this is really powerful. So set powerful intentions today and pay attention to the synchronicities that develop and where they're leading you, how they are leading you toward the manifestation of those intentions. And really pay attention to the energy that you are putting out. Pay attention to your words. Pay attention to your thoughts, your vibration, because those are intentions. The secondary affirmation is: I am Caban, Earth. I am your grounding and protection. I give to you earth power and crystal healing. And just know and understand, right, that with this red solar earth energy, this is very grounded manifesting energy. So there's a lot of powerful and potent manifestation that is available to us today. The guidance for today is to focus on synchronizing with your highest path. Navigate your time-space reality to open doors of evolution. Give and receive profound love to and from Mother Earth. And as we move into the Astro Dream Advisor, the Astro Dream Advisor says, Red Earth is the access point to your natural alignment with Earth Force. It is the unus mundi, the point of perfect centeredness in the eternal present from which all alignment and magic manifest. Your center, the Earth Center, is the secret of gravity's magnetizing force. And so we're really going to be wanting to work with that root chakra today and that second chakra. Red Earth is the channel of harmonic synchronization that is aligned with the galactic heart. From the center point within self, you align with this galactic center and connect through your own crystalline structure to the larger crystal grid network. To keep this channel of synchronization open, connect to the elemental energies of earth, air, fire, and water, and the 7 directional guardians. Cosmic consciousness is not just out there, it is also resonating within you. Be sacramentally rooted where you are. You are made of the earth. Look through the eyes and your feet. Your body is the present focus of your consciousness. Through it, all gifts are received. So today is not a day for wanting to escape the body. Today is a day for sinking more deeply into it, connecting with it. Remember, too, that your environment is alive and reacts to your awareness of it. Therefore, the way you perceive the earth and your physical form affects the information you receive. Red Earth is the earth keeper, the keeper of the garden, the shaman healer who, through reverence for all life, heals and sanctifies the earth. Earth keepers preserve the harmonic relationship with nature by connecting to the wisdom held in matter. In Latin, matter means mother, As you bring light into yourself, you bring light into matter. You and the earth both contain the holographic seed of the new consciousness emerging. Center yourself in the present moment. This is where you can most beneficially observe the synchronicities and revelations about your personal pattern and larger purpose. From here, your mind can learn to be keenly observant, allowing the larger pattern to take shape as naturally as the small brush strokes that eventually complete a beautiful painting. Sit in simple relationship to the earth like a poet enraptured in a forest. Be rooted where you are now. Out of synergistic centeredness, remember, not where you want to be, not where you were, but where you are right now. Out of synergistic centeredness, you will receive your greatest desires and open to the full flowering of the mystic power of the universe. Connecting in like this is how we bring through our physical manifestations. This synchronization can be seen as the alignment of your personal myth with the greater myth of our times. Myth is the framework or story in which the truth of the cosmos is revealed in symbolic form. Utilize it to catalyze your unfolding alignment. By accepting your physical form and your growth process in this world, you access the hub of centeredness out of which all the truth and magic of the universe unfold. Take off your shoes. Touch the one earth. Find a place to dance with the sacred hoop of life. Contribute your vision as an awakened member of the global rainbow family. Yes, and this solar tone, which is about intent and manifestation, is also about completion, expansion, mastery, the larger cycles of time, fulfillment, and the grand design. And so there is an energy of completion in some aspect of our lives today as well. And as we move into the astrology for today, we have that moon in Scorpio. The moon was in Scorpio yesterday. It's been I've been very busy since I got back, and so I didn't get time to do the video yesterday. But we had the moon the day before yesterday, later in the afternoon, evening, moving into Scorpio. And we were in Scorpio all yesterday. And so that moon is completing its transit through Scorpio today. So we are going to feel those emotions, those passions stirring within us. There is going to be a lot of intensity that we may be experiencing on an emotional level. And this is really amplified by the fact that we have the moon involved in a loose T-square with Venus and Jupiter. And so today's going to be a day where we're definitely going to feel possibly things welling up within us. We're going to feel a desire to express, but possibly have some difficulty with that expression. And so if you're feeling this today, if you're feeling like there's a point of expansion that you're trying to reach, and there's some sort of resistance, or there's something within you that may become clear today, that may come up and out of you, or you may just feel it lurking within you. And so the guidance is to really express creatively. There's a lot of beautiful creative energy today. We also have a pleasant aspect that somebody was making to Neptune. That the moon is making to Neptune as well, a trine. And so utilize your creative force, your creative energy to express whatever within you is wanting to be expressed. If you don't know how to express it in conversation, if you don't know how to express it in other ways, express it through a creative project today. And allow that, there's like a purging that wants to happen. There's a releasing that wants to happen today in the emotional body. So just facilitating that in whatever and whichever way we can today is, I think, going to be really helpful. And with all of these energies, the Venus, the moon, the whatever other planet I just said, let me see here, Jupiter, there is that energy of we may possibly be drawn to overindulge today, to be self-indulgent. And so we want to pay attention to where that's coming up. That may be a message that we're receiving around, is where we tend to be overly indulgent, or where we tend to just be a little extra. And so if we notice that today, we want to kind of dial that back in, or just pay attention to it. Pay attention to it and allow that expansion to occur. Think, how can I expand in a way that's more beneficial for the self? How can I indulge myself in ways that are harmonious and healthy and help me feel as though I am flourishing? We also have the sun in that opposition to Pluto right now. So that's a powerful energy, and we've had that over the last few days, and we're going to continue to have that for a couple days more here. And so right now they're 2 degrees apart in this opposition. So as we talked about the other day, this is bringing something up within us as well. This is bringing through a transformation. Remember, the sun represents our consciousness and our ego, as well as our life force. There's a lot of things that sun represents. It's very powerful. That's why it's the number one thing. If people know nothing else about their astrology charts, they usually know their sun sign. Right? So this is our consciousness. This is our ego. And so there's some aspect of that part of us that is wanting to be transformed right now. And so if we are feeling resistance about that, what Pluto is asking us to do is surrender. Surrender ourselves into those flames of transformation, wherever those flames are sort of licking at our boots. Because Pluto wants to bring forth a revelation. It wants to bring forth a liberation. And it really wants to rebirth us. But first we have to be willing to die. And so what part of us, remember, we also have that 9 tone, which is about closures and completions. What part of us is wanting to die today? And so that's something that we want to look at as well. And we want to pay attention to the synchronicities. I feel like the synchronicities are sort of showing us where it is that we're being guided to go. But there's an aspect of us that needs to be released first in order for that to happen. And with this Venus, Jupiter, and what planet did I say? Sorry, you guys, I'm still waking up here. Venus, Jupiter, and the moon energy. We may be feeling that stirring in our emotional bodies today, even if we're not quite sure what it is. And so that energy is wanting to help reveal that to us. So just allow that to reveal, allow that to unfold, and really surrender into whatever experience you're having, whatever aspect of you is wanting to be shifted and reborn. All right, let's pull some cards, and we're going to start out with the Moonology deck this morning. Clear. Let's get some guidance for today. I believe I said it was, what is it, the 19th today? Something like that. Let's get some guidance for this beautiful Monday, this red solar Earth day. And yes, I will have that full moon video out for you guys probably tomorrow. And the full moon releasing and consciousness raising ceremony, the information to join that is in the description box below if you would like to join. And if the 2222 is too much for you right now, just shoot me an email. Let me know. We can figure something out. It's not about the money, right? That's just a number. And so don't ever let that deter you from reaching out to me if you are truly in need and truly desiring. We're going to be working with that Aquarius energy, working with our liberation, working on really stepping into our authenticity during that ceremony. So I think it's going to be really fun and really powerful. There is also information if you would like to join my talk or any of the other classes going on in Synchronicity University for September. Check that out below. Right now, up until the end of August, Nadia Shah is doing a choose your own tuition rate as low as $5 per class. So I'm really excited to be included in that. It is a huge honor. And also, if you guys want to show support for me, my radio show, my first podcast on the Business News Network is going to be on at 2:30 on Friday EST. So there's a link if you guys want to listen into that and show your support and love. And there's also a replay link as well. I have no idea. I'm supposed to be talking about myself and my business. I use the asterisks because when you're living your passion, it doesn't really feel like a business. That's a very mechanical word, right? That's like an old paradigm word. But we're 3D and to an extent still, right? And so we have to use words to describe things. But who knows where that's going to go, right? It's going to go wherever spirit takes it. All right. Let's see what guidance we have for today. First card out, new moon, a new start is coming, right? So that's why those closures, allowing those closures is so important because there's all this fresh new energy pouring in. All of this fresh new energy. And so that moon in Scorpio is showing us where we may be resisting, where there's some sort of shadow aspect that wants to be addressed so that we can fully embrace that new start. And then we have the full moon in Aquarius, which we were just talking about. Show the world the real you. And we have the cardinal moon, be bold and make the first move. And so we're really being called to jump headfirst into this new start, to really throw ourselves into whatever is new and fresh and exciting in our lives, to know that there's like a reset happening in areas of our lives right now where we have felt that stunted energy. And that sun opposing Pluto energy is really assisting us with this restart. So this is why it's so important to surrender into that. It's like surrender to yourself. Surrender to your soul. Your soul is guiding you right now. And so she just wants you to jump on board. She, he, it, whatever you want to say. Your soul wants you to jump on board. All right, to really shine through in the fullness and the authenticity of who you are. To be honest, to act with integrity, to act out of that place of knowing within you. This Aquarius energy is very knowing, right? Aquarius understands a lot. Aquarius knows a lot. Aquarius sees the world differently. And so you're being asked to see the world through your own eyes today. Not through the eyes of somebody else. Not through the eyes of society and the programming. Like through your own, your true eyes, the eyes of your soul. And to navigate yourself in the world accordingly. So you're really, in order for this new start to occur, it's going to require a level of authenticity, a level of courage, and a level of embracing of an expression of who you are. That's what this bold energy is. Make that first move in what area, and whatever area of your life you're being called to make that move. You're being called to do that today. It's going to require effort on your part. You have to meet the magic. Right? The magic's right there, but you have to meet it. And make that first move showing up as who you truly are, or who you truly know yourself to be right now. Because remember, that's always shifting and evolving. All right, yep. And you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo coming out. And remember, we have Venus in Virgo right now. Venus shifted into Virgo a few days ago, and we didn't talk about this. But that Venus in Virgo energy is definitely, it's an energy of purification. It's an energy of improvement. Virgo is always striving to be better. And so we're seeing that we're striving to be better in our relationships and our interactions with others. We're really looking at where it is that we can stand to grow. Where does growth want to happen? When it comes to our abundance, when it comes to the ways that we enjoy ourselves in our world, when it comes to the ways that we enjoy others and interact with others, when it comes to that way that we love ourselves, right? Venus is a planet that also represents, above all else, self-love and value, and what it is that we value and how it is that we value ourselves. So we're really going through a purification process with the Venus in Virgo around that self-love piece, around this energy of knowing that we are good enough, knowing that we are worthy. And this has been coming up a lot. So really know and understand that. It's like you are worthy, not because of anything, right? There's no I am worthy because. It's simply I am worthy. So really stepping into and embracing that energy and knowing and seeing anywhere where that's not being reflected to us in our reality, and where we're being asked to step more deeply into that knowing. And what we're with that moon and Scorpio energy too, being present, complementing or everything's complementary in my eyes, right? A square or an opposition is not necessarily always considered complementary, but I consider it so because it really pushes this energy further, right? It really brings us in deeper and allows us to see it. It makes us work for it, right? Every combination of planets, there's a similarity, but the difference is how hard we have to work for it. So squares and oppositions make us work for it, especially those squares, right? But it's like, if there are energies about this Venus and Virgo energy that are wanting to be acknowledged and looked at, that moon in Scorpio is going to be bringing those up for us. It's going to be bringing those to the surface so that we can see and understand them. And it's like some of us, we may not make the first move in a situation. We may not allow ourselves to soar because there's that aspect of us that doesn't feel worthy anymore. And so it's really tapping into and knowing that. And then we have conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. Yeah. So I'm definitely feeling, especially as we are building up this week to that full moon in Aquarius. And that full moon is going to be sandwiched right between Pluto and Saturn. So it's going to be powerful, you guys. It's going to be powerful. There are major conclusions. And those conclusions, for a lot of us, they're not even necessarily outer conclusions, although for some they may be. But it's a conclusion to these cycles of worthiness, these cycles of being afraid to step into our light. Like there's something that is culminating and climaxing around this time where we're going to have this. I'm like seeing this full moon in Aquarius with this water bearer energy. You know, they call Aquarius the water bearer, and she's holding the container and dumping the water. It's like that water is all of that self-doubt, that self-criticism, that fear of stepping into our light, stepping into our authenticity, of truly expressing who we are, what we think, what we know, what we feel in the world. And so really something that's allowing us to do that. Yeah. Then we have emotions are running high, supermoon, that I uncovered as I was moving the deck. And also a time for healing, balsamic moon. So we'll see if those come back out here. No, but we do have a new romantic cycle begins and balance spirituality and practicality. So Pisces and Libra energy here. And so we've got a lot of full moon energy. We also have a couple new moon energies coming out here. So a lot concluding, but also some new things beginning. And for some people, there is romance. This is also a cycle in fairness and justice with that Libra energy. So it may be a new karmic cycle that's beginning that may or may not have to do with romance. But it has to do with you balancing and weighing your karma and really stepping out of, I'm feeling like stepping out of those old karmic imprints. Yeah, releasing that energy. Wherever that's present, why ever that's present in your reality. And some of this is karma that you've carried for your ancestors. Some of this is things, it's things that you've taken on, that you're letting go, you're releasing right now. It's like that 10 of Wands energy when he finally sets those burdens down. Yeah, so there's a new cycle in fairness, but it's once again, we're really being called into our integrity, right? Like we want things to be fair, but we have to be fair as well. We have to move from that balanced place, from that balanced center point. And whatever is coming around in our lives, whatever is sort of coming to a close here or coming into balance, right? Balance is even the word in this card, balance, spirituality, and practicality. We're being asked, like, whatever new is coming in, we're going to have to juggle it. We're going to have to figure out how to make space for that in our reality, while still making sure that we are caring for our spiritual condition, still making sure that we are moving forward on our path in the ways that we need to move forward. It's like we're adding something in. And like I said, for a lot of people, I don't necessarily think that it may be a physical thing for some people that's closing out. But for a lot of people, I think it's emotional and spiritual and energetic. But something new physically new does feel like it is coming in. So how are we going to balance that? How are we going to bring our scales back, right? Stop them from swinging. When something is lifted, all of a sudden the balance goes off. When something is added, the balance goes off. So how do we bring that into harmony again? How do we make sure that we are caring for all aspects of the mind, the body, and the spirit as we are moving forward? How do we bring the spiritual into our daily lives? Right? There's a friend of mine, and he used to always say, if it's not spiritual, it's not practical. And so that is coming to mind right now as I'm looking at this. And for some people where it is a new romantic cycle coming in, like, you are going to have to learn how to balance that energy and not let that consume all of your energy. That's a lesson that a lot of us have been learning. And then we have take time to breathe out, disseminating moon, and it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. With what do you need to release on the bottom of the deck? All right, so that's a lot of releasing energy. Which is not surprising as we are warming up to this full moon. We're talking about that, right? But then we also have the energy is gaining momentum under that, right? And so it's like, as we are releasing, like with this, work with the breath. The breath is an incredible tool of release. I learned a really powerful form of breath work when I was in Sedona. This woman, her name's Linda Starr-Wolf. Venus Rising is her shamanic breathwork institute. She is so powerful and so amazing. Look her up if you're looking to learn a new form of breathwork, because she has a book called Shamanic Breathwork that includes a CD. She's just incredible. I joined a trip with her. I will be going to Egypt in December, so I am super pumped about that, you guys. That's going to be like the next level. Like when we talk about our souls are being called home, they're being called to the places that provide something for us, the places that activate us. That's a big one. That's probably the biggest one in this world for me, where I've always been called to go. So it is 100% a pilgrimage. Somebody said to me when I told them I was going, that's your Mecca. And it really, truly is. And so it's like, that's really exciting. I just wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, using breath work as a form of release can be really powerful. However it is, that creative release, like we talked about, whatever is coming up and being drawn up within you right now, it's like a pregame for that full moon. So let that go. Release that. Allow that to move through you. And you may notice today if things are being brought up, right? Just pay attention to what's being brought up. And whenever something comes up, it's like, take it back to the breath today. If you're in a situation with somebody, right, with that sun opposing Pluto energy, there is control stuff, there's power stuff. That's why we're being asked to surrender, right? If we notice that that somebody is bringing up a reaction within us, take that time to breathe through it. Anything that's happening today, take that time to breathe through it. Release any negativity we're going to find out where that negativity exists, possibly today and over the next few days, so that we can release it, so that we can let it go. It's like that meme with the Buddha, right? Let that shit go. That's all we're being asked to do. We're being asked to let it go. We're being asked to step more deeply into our truth and to know that we are worthy of doing that and worthy of experiencing all the beauty that the universe has in store for us right now. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope that you have an amazing day. Yeah. If you like this video, hit that like button, drop a comment. Let me know how today is feeling for you. There are links down below in the description box to donate if you feel so moved to do so. The different events and things that I talked about are all listed in the description box below. The affirmations for today are listed in the description box below. What else is listed in the description box below? The different services that I offer. If you want to do some one-on-one work with me, please reach out to me. If you don't know what you need, just email me. Let me know what's going on, and we can figure out what service or combination of services might work best for you right now. So much love, so much appreciation. I will talk to you all tomorrow.